Okay guys, so we're getting closer to the big astrological new moon of the year that everybody's been talking about. Last degree of Scorpio, anaretic degree, 29 degrees of Scorpio, we're going to have the new moon Cazimi, meaning the Mercury degree, which has been retrograde, is going to be at its Cazimi point, which is when it gets to the heart of the sun at the same time that we're having this new moon. So that's a big deal in itself. This is going to be magnified by major aspects to outer planets, namely an opposition to Uranus, which is back in Taurus, last degree, 30th degree of Taurus. So as soon as this new moon happens and moves forward immediately, except for Mercury, which is moving backwards, and we'll move forward again shortly in a little bit, but let's stick to today, which is crazy enough. The first aspect that's going to happen after the new moon, usually when there's any new moon, a lunation cycle, you can look at the aspects that the moon makes in the order or whatever as kind of like a playbook for the events of how they're going to be unfolding. So some big Uranian opposition happens straight away. Right, but then the moon goes into Newton to the next sign, which is Sag. So it's kind of like the big story of this lunation is this one major Cazimi new moon opposite Uranus, because it's at the very last 2 degrees. So the moon goes into a new chapter of the story. Now that seeding energy is going to be playing out the entire month, of course. But so in addition to having this new moon in Scorpio opposite Uranus, we also have really strong, powerful trining energies coming from Jupiter and Saturn, which are in Jupiter's in Cancer, also retrograde, and Saturn is in Pisces, retrograde as well. Now, the degrees of those signs, those planets, the aspect to the new moon is separating, meaning it's something that's already happened. But the lead up to this new moon that's been going on has everybody always fixates on the lunation as an event possibility, which it could be, but the times play out a little bit longer, a little bit before and after the lunation, especially when we have what we call triggering planets activating it. Okay. This Jupiter-Saturn trining, this grand trine in water, basically, which this new moon is picking up on, is, here's my situation, my prediction, is whatever situation occurs as a result of these last degree Scorpio opposite Uranus thing with Mercury there, Cazimi, whatever things are revealed, whatever shifts and changes happen or initiated, are going to have a long-term playing out support to develop. This is going to create a new structure possibility because of Saturn and Jupiter's involvement. And they are slow-moving planets. And because Mercury is retrograde, even though this is happening at the last degree of Scorpio, and the major lunation thing happens and then it's like kind of dies down, Mercury goes back and continues to go back and activate the Jupiter and the Saturn. And then it's going to go forward again and reactivate it. And other planets too. So this is like a seeding energy that this last degrees of Scorpio and this actual whole water trine and this last decan, this latest, like whatever, it's 26 degrees and on of Scorpio. I mean, all the water signs. This area is going to be hot in people's charts for quite a while. And so one of the things that I wanted to do was to make a video talking about, like, how do we understand these basic energies of Saturn, of Jupiter, of the Sun and Mercury and the Moon all coming together opposite Uranus, the Moon, the new Moon and Mercury. But a lot of people are doing that, and this is kind of like foundational information that probably many of you are already familiar with. It's okay if you're not, it doesn't really matter. But what I really wanted to offer as like my take on it, which I think people should be paying attention to, and it might be helpful to really dial in what more to interpretively this could mean. And it's also a great exercise to learn astrology transit techniques, or also just even like delineation techniques of how to understand charts. It's kind of like a little bit of a trick that I'm going to share. So depending on what your rising sign is, right? and not just by sign, but element, you can really easily, quickly tell where this major activation of the water signs are going to be if you use whole sign houses, because all fire risings, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, all fire risings have water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces on the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th house. What order the risings, what water signs are in, are going to vary based on the rising, which rising sign it is. Like for Aries rising, it's going to go in the natural order: Cancer, Scorpio, Cancer on 4, Scorpio on 8, Pisces on 12. But for all the water signs, for all the fire signs, the water signs are on what they call water houses. This is a technique that is basic, foundational from modern astrology. It's not ancient astrology technique, but it doesn't matter because it still works, just with whole sign houses. Earth rising, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn all have water signs on 3, 7, and 11, the air houses. Okay, so Earth rising, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, on air houses, 3, 7, 11. Those houses in the natural zodiac are ruled by like Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So remember, this is modern astrology. Okay, so don't be like, oh, the alphabet technique is bullshit. It's not. It's a basic, a foundational understanding theoretically for how to interpret charts. Okay, and it's not wrong. Air sign risings, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all have water signs on the 2nd house, the 6th house, and the 10th house. Those are natural earth houses. But so they have water signs. They have Gemini rising has Cancer on the 2nd house. It has Scorpio on the 6th house, and it has Pisces on the 10th house. So if you have an air sign rising, this grand water trine is going to be happening in your money houses and your health and work house and your career house, the earth houses. If you're a water rising, right, this is going to be happening in the fire houses, which are the natural 1, 5, and 9 for you. So 1st house, 5th house, your identity, your creative pursuits, your children, 5, and 9, which is your higher mind, your beliefs. It also has a lot of things to do. It's legal matters, it's foreign travel, it's in-laws, it's all kinds of stuff. So, but just if you can focus, if you know your element of rising, or anybody's element of rising, you're going to know that the major trine energy, this big flowing, changing situation, is where is it going to be happening, right? In which 3 areas of the person's life. We also are going to tie in, if we really were doing a thorough analysis, where Taurus is, because that's where Uranus is opposing. So, I know that was a lot, but if you can get in what I'm saying as like a conceptual, once you really get comfortable with this knowledge, it's like knowing your multiplication tables. You can just easily delineate. You just know, and then you can afford to, like, because it's this foundational part of what's actually happening is kind of like elementary for you. You can go to the next level of contemplating, like, how what could this mean, or what further delineation. So it's like, what house does Saturn rule, which is in Pisces for a Virgo rising. It rules 6 and 5. No, so there is much more layers that we would look to. What are the triplicity rulers up to? Which also you could use the elements to tell. You don't even need to, they're pretty common, but you involve day and night birth. So this is way too much. Okay.